Hey everybody, I hope y'all are doing all right. I don't know if you can see the numbers on there, but that's my old Lawrence water temp gauge right there beside my old 2230. But I thought I'd talk about water temp today. Out here on Beaver Lake, a little cold's got my nose running a little bit. Out here on Beaver Lake, looking around for some fish for this weekend, and I thought I'd talk about water temp. And water temp's kind of one. I'm gonna put my gloves on. So y'all don't mind, do you? My fingers are kind of cold. Is just some things I've experienced with water temp, and I just want everybody to know, when I'm talking about something like this, it's not gospel. It is just my experiences fishing. I don't want anybody to ever go, well, he said this is the way to do it, and this is the only way to do it. That's the magic of fishing. Is everybody has their own things and blend together things they've heard and done, and so always remember that when you're paying attention to fishing videos, that fishing's not like that. You can take all that information, but don't ever let anybody just tell you you're doing something wrong, because you may be doing something right that is wrong. That's, book wise or technique wise, they say it's wrong. So always leave your mind open. But anyway, I'm just going to share some of my experiences with water temp, and maybe it'll help you down the road. And so this last week, we finally began to see some pretty cool weather here in my area, and we've started to see the water temps drop a little bit, but not drastically. And I've had a lot of people go, oh man, it was cool last night. Tomorrow, man, they're going to be biting tomorrow after that one cold night. And I'm like, no, because the water temp's not going to change any. It's going to be back 50 tomorrow. It's going to be cold again the next night. And what I don't think a lot of people may realize about water temps sometimes is it takes a lot of time for water to warm up and cool down. So it's the same scenario in the spring as in the fall. Right now we're going through a time that the water's, I'm here right now. It's been in the 20s every night for the last 3 or 4 nights. The water temp's only dropped about 1.5 degrees or 2. But each day it's been creeping up into that high 40s. Today it's going to creep up into close to 50. And what happens is it takes all night for that surface temp to maybe drop 1 degree. You may get here at daylight and hey, it was 54. But by this afternoon, when the sun goes down, the water temp's gonna be right back up to 56. At night, it gets in the 20s or something. It drops back down to 54. Well, you just start this. Well, what's happening is it may be gaining a tenth every day. Maybe one day it doesn't get quite as warm, so it gains a couple of tenths of a degree lower. But what happens is, just like here, it's going to take a week or weeks of this weather to bring that water surface temp down to, say, 50. It's going to take a long time, maybe a couple, 3 weeks of the scenario we're in right now. And it's the same way in the spring. So what happens is, we get 180-degree day and everybody goes, oh man, the water temp's going to come up and the fish are going to get on the bank. We're going to whack on them. And they go out there and they don't whack them. And the water hasn't changed that much. And maybe it did warm up that day 2 or 3 degrees, but then it's 20 at night or 30, and the temperature goes right back down to 46 where it was, and really nothing's changed in that environment. So what you need in the fall is you need very cold days and very cold nights. It can't warm up at all. That sun cannot shine during the day, or that temp's not going to it's not going to drop quickly, because that sun beating on that water is going to warm it right back up. So each day every day needs to, let's just say a scenario where it needs to be at the max 30 during the day. It needs to be getting in the teens at night for you to have any kind of major temperature drop. The same way in the spring. You need to have an 80-degree day or 70-degree day, and then you need to have a 60-degree night to where that lake does not lose that temperature during the nighttime. And now the next day you hit another 70-degree day with another 60-degree night. All of a sudden in 2 or 3 days, you might have gained 4 or 5 degrees on temperature. And that's the scenario where I really see temp changes making a difference. These gradual changes like we're dealing with right here on this lake, where it's 0.5 degree every couple days or a degree a week, it doesn't seem to change anything in the fishing world. But when I see a major change, now I'm talking 4 to 6 degrees, like right now we're at 56. If by Sunday morning when I came to that tournament out here, that water was 50, all of a sudden there's going to be a bite happening. It changes the environment. The fish recognize it, the bait fish recognize it, and those sharp changes are what I see making a difference. I seen a scenario a few years ago. It'd been 57 for weeks, and all of a sudden the surface temp we had a really cold week. Actually, he probably had some snow that week, I think, if I remember right, which that really helped bring that surface temp down. All of a sudden the lake dropped to 50 degrees, and I caught them burning a spinnerbait. It was a sight to behold. Those fish just went crazy, and I had not, a week before, you couldn't buy one burning a spinnerbait. So it was that severe change that made these fish begin to react. It's just like water coming up and down and changing. The same way in the spring. When I see a change it's like these run-ins, where you see a temperature change that you have 60-degree water running in from a hot rain, a warm rain, against 40-degree water, you get that severe change and the fish just migrate to it. Or you get 3 days that the surface temp climbs up to from 46 to 52, like within 2 or 3 days. You can really capitalize on some really good bites when you get a large temperature change very suddenly. That's when the magic happens. So be cautious about just like right now, it's been cold every day. And I didn't go fishing yesterday. I was like, man, it's freezing out here, but I should have went. And it's like now today, it was cool this morning, but now the sun's out. It's going to get up in the 50s. That water temps, it was 55, 7, something like that when I got here. It's already up to 56. It's probably going to be up to 57 before I leave the lake today. So tonight it's going to get in the 20s again. All it's going to do is drop it a little bit. Tomorrow will be right back up. And those steadies are where the fishing really stinks for me. I don't like steady. I like good temperature drops, ups and downs any time of the year, and that's what I look for. I pay attention to that on my temp gauge, and I don't put too much weight into it, just being steady. Same way with weather. I want erratic weather events. I want erratic water levels. I want the lake rising or I want it falling. Just anything that creates those kind of things in fishing really make fish bite. So that's what I see when it comes to temperature, and pay attention to that. I think you'll notice what I'm talking about on your local lake. Just because you got 1 or 2 cold nights don't mean that your water temp's going to change any, and unfortunately the fish won't change any either. They just keep doing the same old thing. So look for those sharp changes. Pay attention to your weather and your forecasts, and you can begin to plan like that's the day. If I see a weather trend where like right now, if I could see a weather trend where we could see some really cold days and some really cold nights, somewhere 3 or 4 days that right after that event, there's going to be some fish to be caught big time. So watch for those things. Put a ton of fish in the boat in for you. And I haven't had a bite yet today, and I'm kind of just assume talk as fish at the moment because I ain't getting no bites, but I guess I better get with it and figure something out. It'd probably be the best idea instead of just spending money to go fishing in these tournaments and not have an idea how to catch any. Hope that helps y'all some. I'm gonna get back to it. As always, I appreciate all of you, and good fishing. Talk to you soon.